Hey everyone, it's Angie at the Well-Oiled Life. Thank you so much for hopping on and joining me. So I wanted to do this tutorial because probably 80% of days I stay at home just by myself. I work at home. And so I'm not putting on a full face of makeup, but I also don't want to look like I just rolled out of bed, right? Especially because it's winter and, you know, if you're like me, my skin's like pale and just looks pasty, and I just, when I see in the mirror, I'm like, ooh, gosh, just need a little liven up, you know? So on the days that I stay home or just that I'm running quick errands, I still put some makeup on. I just don't do a full-on face. So I want to show you my quick makeup tutorial that I do. It's very easy. Anyone can do it with Young Living Savvy Minerals makeup. I realized again how much I love this makeup. I did a makeup class last night and got to pull all of it out, and you guys, this makeup seriously is amazing. It looks great on everybody. The foundation covers are very forgiving for people. If you don't get the exact one right away, they're very forgiving as long as you're in the ballpark. So anyways, let's jump in and get started. So the first thing I do is I put on a little bit of concealer if I need it. So mostly I just need it under my eyes. For a clean concealer, I like this RMS Beauty concealer. It's just a pot. I'll tell you, it's not my favorite concealer. My favorite is my like dirty Lancome concealer. But for a clean concealer, this one works. And I just, again, on the days I'm home, I don't really care. I just kind of dab some underneath my eyes. So I've already done that part. And then I just jump right in with my foundation. So I am a Savvy Minerals Foundation Warm 2. And I have these little, I keep these on so too much doesn't spill out. And Young Living, if you're listening, I got to show you this idea. This is a different powder that I have, but this is genius. Look at this lid. Can you see it? It's closed. Ooh, gosh, can you see it? It's closed, and you can open the lid. You twist it like this to reveal the holes. I don't know if you could see that. Reveal the holes, and then you shake it out. Oh, would I love if Young Living would give us lids like this. Okay, that's my spiel. All right, so with my other ones, I just leave this on, okay, so it doesn't spill all over. Now, I've talked about this before if you've watched any of my videos. I just use a lid. I don't like using the makeup lids to shake my powders in. So I have a lid. Like this is a lid from a Gerber, like from when my kids were babies. And that way I can clean it. So anyways, I just tap out some foundation. Okay. You could see you don't need a ton. Can you see that there? Tap out some foundation. And then I get my foundation brush, and yes, I do use Young Living's foundation brush for this. Because I need a little bit more coverage like through my nose and mouth area, I do use the misting spray, and I love this, and it does make a difference. So I just do 2 sprays of the misting spray on my brush. So it's not quite so wet. I dab it on the back of my hand just to get a little bit of the wet off. And then, whoops, I take it and I dip it in on my foundation and kind of tap it off so it doesn't like puff all over my face. And I start on the areas where I need the most coverage. So I know I'm talking a lot, but you guys, I'm not joking. I can put this on in like 3 minutes when I'm not talking. But so I take this and I start with my nose because that's what needs the most coverage just from discoloration, and then under my eyes. And I just kind of keep tapping, and I push it in there so it doesn't, so it doesn't puff all over, okay? Kind of push it into the brush and just go over the areas, again, that need the most coverage. And then from there, I don't really need more misting spray. If you need coverage over the rest of your face, you can remist your brush a couple of times if you need to pick up more powder. It makes it glide on really nicely. So here's my tip, because we're not going to do eyeshadow. Remember, because I'm staying at home, I don't need to do the whole shebang. I just need to get this winter pasty off my skin and just give a little polish. So I take my foundation and just go over my eyelids. And that way they match the rest of my face perfectly. And I'm going to do that instead of eyeshadow, okay? For part of the reason. So you can see I got all the foundation off my plate. And that's it for the foundation. Then you are going to want to add your blush. So out of the 3 blushes, for me, Smashing is my favorite. It's a little bit more of a cool pink. The I Do Believe You're Blushin' is a little bit more of a neutral pink, more of like a peach pink. So I like the cool pink, especially for winter, just because for me, I need a little bit more color on my cheeks. So I'm going to do the same thing. Just tap out a little amount, and you hardly need any. I don't know if you could see that, but you hardly need any of this blush. Again, I keep my little lids on and just pull them back. Then I take the blush brush, and your blush is going to go right on the apples of your cheeks. So when you smile, and that's your apple. That's gonna go right on there, and you're just gonna kind of blend it out a little bit. So you can see your complexion is waking up a little bit because now you got a little bit of color on there and your skin now looks more polished and even. And I'm telling you, this foundation is so nice. I know a lot of people worry that it's gonna look powdery or dry for the winter. I can say it's been quite the opposite for me. My skin was drier when I was using a liquid foundation for whatever reason. This powder foundation has something in it that is hydrating to the skin, at least for me. I don't know if you guys have experienced the same thing. I know I've talked to my mom and she said the same exact thing, that her skin looks less dry with the powder foundation. It's just the finish of it. It's so nice. Okay, then here is the star of the show to help your pale winter complexion, and it is the bronzer. Now, out of the two bronzers, for an actual true bronzer, I love the Summer Loved. It's the darker of the two colors. As you can see, I'm pretty pale. I'm not a tan person at all. But the other one, I think it's called Crowned All Over, is the other bronzer. It's actually very, very light, and when you put it on your skin, to me, it looks a little bit more like a highlighter than it does a bronzer. So for a true bronzer, I love the Summer Loved, and this is the color I tell everyone. Even at my makeup class last night, like no matter what their complexion, I was like, go with the Summer Loved if you want an actual bronzer. The other one, I think it has more like kind of highlighting properties to it, to be honest. Now, I'm going to put this little disclaimer out there too, because I am totally not a shimmer person. I was a matte bronzer, matte, obviously foundation, matte eyeshadow person my entire life. I don't like shimmer. When Young Living first came out with these and they were shimmery, I was super bummed because I was like, I do not want shimmer. I do not like shimmer. When you put this on your hand, you're going to see, I don't know if you're going to be able to see in this video. Can you see? Yes, you can. See how there's a sheen? I was like, I do not like that, and I'm not putting that on my skin. You guys, trust me, I promise you, it does not look like this on your skin. It like gives you a little bit of a sheen, so when you turn, you can probably even see this blush a little bit. It just gives you a little bit of life in your face, but even when you look at it up close, it's almost like a satin finish versus anything sparkly or shimmery, okay? I would just call it more of a satin finish. All right, so back to our bronzer, and honestly, I probably poured too much on there. Can you see that? I hardly needed any. And I'm gonna take that same brush that I just used the blush with, and you're just gonna kind of tap it on. And you wanna tap it off. You don't want this puffing all over your face, all right? So tap it to where it looks like this, and you don't have like a ton, you know, you don't have excess product on there. So your bronzer, if you've watched my other videos, I've talked about this, your bronzer is kind of like to function as cheekbones, right? So if you kind of went like this and saw where those lines are, that's kind of where you're going to trace your bronzer to kind of give your face a little bit of definition. And then you're going to go around. Dark colors make, you can see this looks more like it has more dimension than this side right now. I don't know if you can see that on the film, but this has more dimension than this. You're adding in this dimension because when we put our foundation on, we basically made our face flat. So now we're adding back in the dimension with our dark and light. So the foundation is light, and now I'm adding the dark to make these areas of your face kind of recede and slim down a little bit, okay? So the key to your bronzer and your blush is to just blend, 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 okay? Now I'm not using this all over my face. I'm using it in very strategic spots. You can go on any like contouring video you want to find out more. And then if you need to buff any of it out, retake your foundation brush and just to keep blending it all together, okay? You don't want any like lines on your face, okay? Now you can see my eyes right here are really pale. So this is where your bronzer is gonna come in too. So if you wanna be very basic, you can literally just take that brush and do a couple of like swoops over your eyelids, and it just adds, you probably can't tell too much on film, but on my camera, but in real life, it just adds a little bit of definition to the top of, you know, again, I'm not doing a full-on eyeshadow, but it's not like I have these white eyes now just because I had only my skin color tone. I've added just a touch of color to my eyelids, and I can get away with that and not have to do major eyeshadow. So, and then I'll just add some gloss, or you can use your lip balm. Young Living's lip balm is my favorite. Today I'll just show you the Abundant Lip Gloss. You can totally use this on its own without any lipstick or anything. And you can stop right there if you want. If you want to keep going, I'll keep showing you, like, let's say, like, I don't know, you got to run to the grocery store and you just, I don't know, or you're meeting somebody for coffee, you don't want to do a full-on makeup, but you want to look a little bit more polished. You can add your diamond dust to the top. You guys, I love this. Again, it looks so shiny, and the first time I saw it, I was like, why would I want to look like a disco ball? But it doesn't. It's so nice. So, and here's a tip. What I found is once you wear this makeup for about 20 minutes, it like melds with your skin, and whatever happens to it, it's like magic happens on your skin. I don't know. Give it like 20 minutes, and if you see any sort of like shimmer, it will just melt into like a satin. It's so nice. So I used very little diamond dust, like very little. You can see it on my brush, and just kind of dust this over your face really quickly, and it kind of sets everything, blends everything together. And you can stop there. If you want to, see, I have a couple sparse spots in my eyebrows. So you can mix the multitasker, which is a dark brown. You can mix that with a little bit of foundation if you want to fill in your brows. You can use your bronzer to fill in your brows. Because I have it, because I have all the makeup, since I do some classes, I use the Dark 2 foundation, just a very little bit, and I use an angled brush, and I kind of dip that in. I'm going to use a mirror down here. I don't want to use my camera. And you just kind of fill in those sparse spots so they're not quite as sparse. Again, I'm not going for perfection here. I'm not going to walk a red carpet, right? Just very, very quick. Just fill in these little areas that clearly at some point in time got overplucked and who knows what else. This one needs a little bit of work right here, but you can always mist your brush with misting spray if you need a little bit of fuller coverage there. Okay, so fill in those spots just a little bit, and you can stop there. If you want to go one teeny step further, you can add a little bit of eyeliner with the multitasker, or you can use your, I could use that Dark 2 again, whatever you want. So again, you can see I'm using like very, very little product, and I have a smaller angled brush. And you can either wet this with your misting spray, you could wet it under the sink, or you can do it dry for a very subtle line and just go right along the top of your eyelashes. Okay? And that would be the last step. And I don't know how long I took on this video, but you could tell it was chatty, so I apologize, but literally you could do this in, for sure, under 5 minutes. Like you could do it in 3 minutes and just have a little bit of polish on your skin, knock off. You can see that just adds a little bit more definition to your eyes. Knock off some of the winter paleness of your skin, right? Because this time of year, I don't know about you guys, but can look a little bit sick when you're so pale. Yeah, you can see I hardly used any of that product. So you can see how much I still have left. And that's it. And then if you want to do your mascara after that, you'll be done. So what we use, we did foundation, a touch of blush, touch of bronzer, and do bronzer on your eyes just to kind of liven your face up a little bit. You could do gloss or lip balm, and then if you want to take it a step further, you can do your veil, fill in the spots in your brows, and eyeliner. You probably don't do eyeliner for a day home. I typically don't. I just wanted to show you how quick and easy it was. It doesn't have to be a long, involved, drawn-out process. So, okay, that is it. Thank you guys for joining. I can't see comments. I don't know if anybody has left any, but if you have questions or comments, post them below the video, and I will get them answered. You guys have a fantastic day, a great weekend, and I will see you soon.